All right, welcome back to Intel Debrief Tarot. So we're just going to go and ask the question of Putin. Who is Putin? Who is Vladimir Putin, president of the Russian Federation? So who is he? With his past, present, future? What is his course of action going to be? What are the energies surrounding him? Other person or persons or groups surrounding him involved? What are his blockages and fears, and what is going to be the final outcome regarding Putin? So who is he and what's going on with Putin? So again, I've done a preliminary comprehensive shuffle, and I'll do a short one here to save time. And of course, my readings are always protected by spirit, so no worries there. Okay, here we go. For President Putin's 7-card spread. Thank you, Spirit. Thank you, Source. Thank you, Universe, for any information you can tell us via these cards. Come on. Okay, we'll do split. Okay, past. King of Wands reversed. Present, Ace of Swords reversed. Future, 2 of Wands. Course of action, 9 of Cups. Other person or persons, 9 of Pentacles. Blockages and fears, reversed Star card. And wow, look at that. The final outcome, Sun card, best card of the deck. All right. Okay, we have reverse king of wands for past, and so yeah, something. And this card is very Putin-esque, regardless of how you feel about him. Very Putin-esque. And it's reversed, so he has come from some difficulty, that's to say the least, because he has come a long way since the early 2000s, dealing with a lot of issues and problems regarding the former Soviet state, now the Russian Federation. I am familiar with Russian history a little bit, as I don't know if you guys know, I used to be a far left activist. No longer. That was years ago. I'm nonpartisan now, and but yeah, when you're a lefty, especially a far lefty, a kind of education in Russian history kind of comes with the territory. So, and I've kept tabs on what's going on in Russia. Always a place I've been interested in and have appreciated. So historically, they've actually been friends with the United States. For a long time, so they were part and parcel. So when so you have to understand the Russian state comes in 3 phases. It's the Russian Empire, and then the Soviet period, and then now the Russian Federation period. So in the imperial period, both the U.S. and the Russian Empire both freed their slaves near about the same time. So that's interesting. And then in the Civil War, the European powers were interested in keeping that war going in hopes of fracturing the U.S. and splitting it apart, mainly because of the British Empire wanting to get their colony back, right? Or at least causing a whole bunch of trouble. So, but Russia was very key into preventing that. Without getting too much into detail into it, but let's get into it. What it is. So there's a lot of history between the U.S. and Russia has been a very important part in the world, and also unfortunately, a lot of propaganda and misinformation has been spread about Russia in the past and recently as well. So, yeah, that is that. Just for a little background. But yeah, let's get into the past of our friend Vladimir Putin. What does he not see? Okay, there's still a way to go with the reversed Eight of Wands. Plans slow and coming together. And then we have kind of a reversed, behind that, a reversed Four of Pentacles, which means maybe let go a little bit. So a little give and take. All right. Okay, source. More information on Putin's past here. More information on Putin's past. Five of Wands. Lots of conflict. And Five of Swords. So, which speaks to the same thing. So, yeah, he's been in a battle. And both good and bad from anyone's point of view. Okay, Spirit. Two more cards, please. More information on Putin's past is to establish what we got going on. We have reversed Ten of Pentacles. It's been a long 20 years or so for Putin. And then Princess of Cups. Okay, so that speaks well going into the present, although we do have a reversed Ace of Swords. So yeah, lots of conflicts. You know, he's had a lot to deal with. He's had to deal with the former, you can call, you know, this former Soviet Union very much a deep state. So he's had to deal with the bad. Don't think of it as a monolithic thing, and don't think as Putin as a kind of a monolithic person as well. So there's a lot of good and bad. There's a lot of gray. There was some good with the Soviet Union, but it was factional. So you had the hardliners that I would describe as, you know, especially being as a former far lefty, you probably would have the internationalists and stuff. They gave a lot of the Soviet premiers issue over the course of the Soviet Empire. And certainly they gave Putin some troubles there. Certainly they gave a lot of trouble to those that came right before. So then we have the Five of Swords in reverse as well. So kind of up and down in terms of the conflict going back and forth. And then we have a Ten of Pentacles in reverse. So it's been tough. It's been a long road for both Putin and the Russian people, going from where they were to where they are now to where they're going to. But we have a good Princess of Cups. So very light spiritual energy moving in forward towards the Ace of Swords, which is the ace is not in the hole presently, but we shall see. So he is in this conflict currently with Ukraine, which is sad. It's almost like a civil war. You can think of it between two Slavic nations, between a former important part of the Soviet Union and of the Russian Empire. Although Ukraine, you have to realize, also has a very problematic past and present. So again, you know, Ukraine was allied with the Third Reich back in World War II. They do have mostly in the western part of the country, they do have a very kind of Third Reich government going on and movement, even under Zelensky. So that's just the truth. That's just what it is. We can do readings on that later on. So, okay, let's more information on President Putin. More information source on President Putin, please. His present state. Okay, Emperor in reverse. A couple more. Okay. We did all those. Well, the Hierophant, sorry. Reversed Hierophant. Okay, we have And looking, I thought we had another 10 of Wands, I guess. Or sorry, Knight of Wands. So when did we? Yeah, he's going through a lot still. So okay, 2 more cards, please. There we go. There we go. King of Wands. Okay, present state, and okay, so we have, yeah, so still going through some difficulties. A lot of legal wrangling, which the higher font speaks to. A lot of legal ins and outs. He does go by rule of law. Both the mainstream media will tell you otherwise. They'll spin that, but in truth, if you research it, he does do that. Although it may seem that he does not. But he also is going to the main law is, of course, that of the Russian state. But he's also is careful not to disrupt international law in reality. So he always kind of dances on that razor's edge, which is fine. And then you have a lot of work being put into all this. He is a wounded warrior, literally. Former KGB. He does have an injury, and he's also been going through a lot to again bring the Russian Federation, now the Russian Federation, from almost near destruction in the 90s. What happened in the 90s after the fall of the Soviet Union to where they are now, which is actually doing, again, you have to go beyond the mainstream media and do your own research, and you'll see that the Russian state is actually doing pretty well right now. But we do have some difficulty currently. That's what these 2 cards are speaking to. And again, moving into the more positive 2 of Wands in the future, we have a right side up 9 of Pentacles. That's very like got your stuff going on. You got your good energy, and you're working it. So, and then of course the Queen of Wands, which again, confirmation here with the reverse King of Wands. And so he is turning things around, not only for the Russian Federation, but for himself. And then we have 2 of Wands, which is looking forward into the next step. So let's do the future then in that case. Future for Vladimir Putin. And I guess the next reading will be Zelensky. And then down, not too far from now, we'll do the state of each. So we'll do reading for the state, for the Russian Federation, and for the state of Ukraine. So I kind of haven't been doing videos the last week. I let my current ones kind of run out. So the last one I think dropped either yesterday, I think. So yeah, I'm just doing these now on the 25th of April. So I gotta get back to work. So it's endless. That's why I like this subject matter. It's endless content. Come on. Okay, split the deck. And future spirit. More information on future of Vladimir Putin, please. What's going on with the 2 of Wands for the future of Putin? Wow, we got 2 great cards. I saw the 10 of Cups. Saw it briefly. There it is. And then we have 8 of Cups. 9 of Cups, sorry. And both great cards. We have final wish fulfillment, everything. And then very much so wish fulfillment here. Proud of one's accomplishments and getting to the goals. Okay, 2 more for future of Vladimir Putin. Sorry. 2 more cards, please. Spirit on future for Vladimir Putin. Or tie these cards together. Thank you. Ouch. Cards are sharp. I don't know. I just kept on going. So anyway, there we go. King of Pentacles, right side up. That's last. We'll do this one. God, they're all right side up. Knight of Cups. Pretty much everything. Eight of Pentacles, right side up. So everything you can probably a good job, well done, good work. King of Pentacles is right side up. So we have the King of Wands moving into King of Pentacles and the King of Cups. So continuing to move forward. And so we do have, remember, we had the Princess of Cups in the past. And then we have in the future, we have the now and Knight of Cups moving forward, continuing with a deep kind of spiritual cup message and energy moving forward and continuing on all this pretty much home and spiritual enlightenment and completeness, family and country and everything that has been his goal to make his country whole and to his people, make his people whole, is patriot to his country, and does not want to go. It's just a joke, again, because I used to be in the far left. The far left, think of them what you may. One of the things that they do have a proper understanding and outlook for both the history and the present and the future outlook of the Russian state. So just like I said, when you are far lefty, you get this education, and because it's the Russian Revolution, the Great Experiment, and all that. It's for them, or for what I was back then. It's a an example of what in their minds a communist revolution could bring about, because it took a basically country that was kind of stuck in the medieval times and old times, and brought them up into a industrialized state. Probably by the time definitely by the time the mid to late 20s rolled around. Certainly by the 30s, and then you got World War II. So and that's been the goal of Putin, is to they almost fell in the 90s after the fall of the Soviet Union. So you had the fall of the Soviet Union, then you had almost the fall of the Russian state completely. And so his goal has been trying to reverse that and get out of that. So we've kind of seen that here in the reversal of cards moving forward. Okay, so we have course of action. Let's do that. So definitely the cards are right in there. And I think although we do have a current situation that is not good with this conflict between Ukraine and Russia, but looks like we'll be getting out of it soon. Let's get rid of these away. Okay, Spirit, more information on Putin's course of action. The Nine of Cups. So we have confirmation of Nine of Cups. It looks so different, so but that's what it is. We have a High Priestess was represented by the number 2, because we have the 2 pillars, dark and light. So he's going to keep going. In other words, he's going to keep going off the energy of the original 8 of Cups here, and that's his goal. So, and this can go either, if it's course of action, you can go either up, reversed, or right side up, because it's what you got to do, right? So if it comes up reverse, you got to turn that around, and then otherwise, either way, this is your course of action no matter what. So sacred knowledge, subconscious, divine, feminine, trust yourself, sensitivity, purity, high morals. So yeah, I mean, at least as far as Putin is concerned, that's the energy he's been putting out. Whether you believe that or not, that's up to you. From what I know and what I've studied and looked into, excuse me, that's what he's doing. More information, please, on course of action for Putin. All right, well, it was kind of a winning at all costs, defeats. Yeah, so victory, pulling victory out. That's his goal, is to be victorious, and there's no other alternative anyway. Either way. So yeah, he's going to continue off this and make things happen. So either way, he's going to be victorious. And if you know Baba Vanga and other famous kind of soothsayers and psychics and stuff, they predicted that Russia will play a really important part in kind of saving the world. I mean, that's just out there. You can look at research that in your own time, but that's what they say. Edgar Casey said the same thing, as did the aforementioned Baba Vanga. Okay, another famous psychic. I forget where she's from, Bulgaria or something like that. I don't think she's Russian. Okay, so other energies around Putin. Other energies, persons or persons, energies. Okay, Spirit, more information on other people or energies around Putin. More information, who's around him, what are the other energies around him. Oh. Yeah, he has the brave, heroes, sacrifice. These would be the Russian soldiers. So that speaks to universe telling us that they're the good guys pretty much. Traveler, secret horizons, adventure, experience, a long journey. That's definitely the case. Let's see if we can tie that together. It's a little broad. More information. Spirit, more information on these cards so far. There's some betrayal. So he has already been dealing with that and probably will deal with some more. Yeah, okay, let's keep going. And we have criminals, which probably speaks to that. Since these are other people around him. So he has good and bad, which makes total sense. He's in a war, he's in a conflict, not only with Ukraine, but, Ukraine is being supported by NATO and the British Empire, which are their old enemies going back to a long time, if you did not know, FYI. So these people are going to be, so we do have another Nine of Pentacles somewhere. I don't remember where it went. Somewhere here it is. It's kind of sideways. But yeah, other people, it's a work in progress. So both sides are working hard to get their goals, but it looks like the other side is the bad side. So there you go. That's clarification on that right there. The spirit. Okay, and his blockages and fears with the kind of general oracle set that we have been kind of experimenting with. A little difficult. I may get myself another more traditional tarot deck to do that. Or I do have another one. I do have another oracle deck that's more general. Don't know why. I was going to use that one first. Don't know why I didn't. Anyway, we'll just keep going with this deck. Spirit, more information on his blockages and fears. What are blockages and fears? Chained. So being chained and being weighed down. That's, yeah, I mean, it's pretty clear. He does not. He wants a clear road ahead of him. He wants to finish what he started. Which is, dealing with, in one way or the other, with Russia's enemies. The blues, depression, fear. That is the normal stuff for anybody in his position. Nosy, spreading rumors, gossip, propaganda, anti-Russian propaganda, spies, that sort of thing, and red flagged. Warning signs, take heed, risky situations. He does not want to to risk too much. That's why this war is going on so slowly. Yet unfortunately, it still has led to a lot of loss of life on both sides, but it could have been worse. And also, the civilian deaths have been kept really low. Right? I think any conflict. So that is very much a true thing. You can also check that out as well. So yeah. All right. Yeah. I mean, yeah, pretty straightforward. And final outcome, let's do with the Sun card right here. One of the best cards of the deck. So we had a good, so future. Let's give these a little bit of a shuffle before we finish this off. Very good clear reading, which is good. It means that nothing bad, nothing evil, nothing to say that he's evil or up to anything bad. He's doing what he thinks he's needs to be done in the best way for his people. So that's what I was saying. Anyway, here we go. Final outcome for, we'll find out now. Final outcome for Putin. Okay, we have, yeah, so a lessening of conflict. That's a reversed 5 of Wands. Queen of Cups in reverse. So a little bit of a loss there. That's understandable under the circumstances. Did I do both? I don't think I did both. No, I have this here. So we have yet, we'll have another half of the deck. Let's finish this out. 2 more cards, please. I gotta stop. I'm getting, I don't know if it's because my skin's dry or what. It's not easy. It's not easy. The cards are like cutting into me. Okay, so maybe I try to reposition a little bit better. Ow! Okay, Spirit. 2 moments to clarify. There we go. Let's just do one more. We're almost done with all of them. Okay, so we have 2 more right here. Let's get these out. Because it's getting late. I'm ready to chill. Oh, we only got 1. Oh, no, there's 2. What I thought. Reverse. I don't know which order they came out in. I think this was the last, actually. And Hierophant. Yeah, so we have the 7 of Pentacles, reverse. And so there's a lot of a price to pay. So this speaks to the ending of conflict. And then we have 2, which means a price to pay, which definitely we know that's the truth. And then the Hierophant is now in, did we ever get another Hierophant here? I don't think so. So yeah. So now that original, or I don't remember now if it was in, yeah, it came out in present state. Yeah, so the Hierophant reversed as it was in present state here. And then now all the way through. So in the final outcome, he has that right side up. So especially with this card too, very peaceful, very holistic, and very, the Hierophant can also mean, you know, your students or your young are now ready to go off on their own to do what they need to do. They have the information and the knowledge within them to now go off on their own and do what they need to do. So I think he will be leaving. When he leaves office, he will have completed his work, as we've seen here in the future cards. And the final outcome is that the Russian state will be stable and peaceful and ready to move on into the future. So with the Sun card, and it's so funny too, because I mean, this is just like, I love this. So I love tarot. I mean, this is, you know, the famous picture of him riding the horse without his shirt, you know, and him as the golden boy here. So, a sun on his back. So that mirrors, I mean, the tarot, if you can't doubt the tarot. I mean, they always tell the truth. I mean, this is, I mean, come on, right? So yeah, a very good reading for Putin. If you guys have any doubts about Putin, seems like he's a good guy. And he's doing the best that he could do or can do or needs to do for his country and his people. So that's definitely here. And he has fears and blockages like we all do. And but he will be successful in what he is doing. So I mean, it's a good end, the final end to the conflict in Ukraine. And yes, definitely we'll do a reading on Zelensky and Ukraine as well. Hopefully, we can patch things up there and make that a good situation as well. So, anyway, yeah, looks good for Putin. Yeah, so thanks for stopping by, and I'll see you in the next one. So, God bless and take care. Bye.